call Meka Whaitere.
E te māngai te whare, tēnā koe, i ngā membo te whare nei, tēnā tātou katoa. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to join in the chorus of support for this bill in the third reading of the Civil Defence Emergency Management Amendment Act 2016 Amendment Bill. Sir, the bill brings forward the commencement of most of the Civil Defence Emergency Management Amendment Act of 2016 by 6 months, I heard the Minister say, to the 28th of November, when the bill receives its royal assent. The second part of the bill attempts is it adds a new power to the Act so that during states of emergency or transition periods, building owners can be required to carry out assessments of structures to determine their sale and to provide a copy of these. And this can also apply to situations like a flood as well as an earthquake. Sir, on November the 14th, I wasn't in Wellington, but I did feel the earthquake in Hawke's Bay. But like many members in this House, I have an apartment here in Wellington, and it took, it received quite a bit of damage. My university-aged son was in the apartment at the time. I took a call just after midnight. Now, this son of mine is no Daisy. He's about 6'2", Mr. Speaker, and about 100 k's. And the fear in his voice, and he's probably going to get me if he hears me talking about him, but he seriously, sir, was very, very frightened. Never been in an earthquake. And all I remember saying to him is, get out of the apartment, get out of the apartment. So that was on Monday the 14th. On the 15th of November, as we all do, we returned to Wellington. And of course my son completely said, I'm out of here, Mum, I'm not coming back to your apartment. And I don't think he's actually returned since. Having said that, sir, the issue around making sure that we were going back, I was going back into a safe apartment was critical on my mind. And I want to share with the House that I instigated not just calling the property managers, of which I have rented the place from, given that it was only a 3-year-old apartment building. So I started the process of ensuring that it was safe before I went in. And I can tell you, sir, that on Monday I couldn't get hold of anybody from this particular property management company. And I finally got hold of them on Tuesday. We were here in Parliament, obviously, right till 10 p.m, so I never got back to the apartment until 10:30. And as I expected, literally every piece of glass and cutlery in my kitchen was all on the ground. And I guess I was more devastated by the fact that there was a bottle of red that was also on the floor, Mr. Speaker. Of course, we all, it was very good Hawke's Bay Merlot, I must say, Mr. Speaker, but I think I was more devastated by that than anything else. The point I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, is that this bill has borne out a disaster, and we've all acknowledged that in terms of this earthquake. But for many tenants and building operators, sir, they are looking for something that gives some surety that buildings are safe post-earthquake. And so I do want to commend the Minister in bringing this bill and adding that particular safety or assurances to many tenants around Wellington in particular. Of course, we look at the people in Kaikoura. Can I just say, sir, in my closing minutes and a half, because we've acknowledged everybody involved in bringing this bill here, all the people in Kaikoura, we acknowledge them, and all the people helping the community to get back on their feet, both in Kaikoura and here in Wellington. Can I say, in disasters come good things, and one of the good things I believe that this bill brings the opportunity to members of this House, sir, is the pronunciation of Kaikoura. Sir, tonight I've listened to very versions of Kaikoura, not Kaikoura, Kaikoura, and that's probably a reflection for all of us in this House to do a bit more when it comes to pronouncing our Māori language, sir. And I just want to leave that as a gesture of goodwill to members, that we should work a bit hard, because people do look to this House when it comes to our languages in this country, and we have more than one, sir. Like all members in this House, I commend this bill to the House.
I call